again. Best counties in Britain. James says definitely Antrim in Northern Ireland. We have the Giant's Causeway, beautiful beaches, great golf, food, and most importantly, great people.
Sounds very good. I love Liam, because you're an old romantic, Liam. My favourite county is wherever my beautiful wife may be.
Oh.
She is the sun that lights my life.
Oh, I love you, Liam.
That's fabulous.
That's really nice. Neil in Shropshire said it's definitely Conway in North Wales. I lived there between 1987 and 2003. Still have family in North Wales and would gladly go back. It is stunning.
Where my Auntie Brenda lives.
Is it?
There you go. It's beautiful, apparently. I've still not been to see her up there. I must go. Robin in Sussex says the high-wheeled...
Area of National Beauty.
Oh, is that what I wondered what that stood for, AOMB. Soft, rolling countryside, beautiful brick and tile houses, oast houses, proper towns with non-chain shops.
Lovely.
Yes.
I know what you mean about the non-chain shops. It's lovely when you go somewhere and there's independent shops.
See, there's lots of little villages in the Cotswolds which are all sort of like that. And, I mean, the beautiful Cotswold stone and all that.
Yeah.
Very pretty, very nice to look at. Keep your thoughts coming.
GBNEWS@GBNews.uk.
Let's go through the papers now. And joining us this morning is former Conservative advisor Claire Pearsall and the broadcaster David Hamilton. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Talk about the cost of living crisis in the Observer, Claire.
I mean, there really is no good news coming out at the moment, and I thought that this was a particularly interesting way of illustrating the cost of living crisis and what it means to us all. What the Observer have done is broken down household appliances and the price that you will pay after the new energy cap was announced.
Right.
So, for example, if you charge your phone every day for at least an hour, it will cost you 26 pence per charge. So in a week, that's £1.82. Now, none of us only charge our phone for 1 hour of a day.
Yeah.
So you can start looking at that cost and see how that's going to ramp up. And the other one was laundry, which was the one that was most outstanding. A load of washing will cost 36 pence per hour. So 3 2-hour spins a week comes to £2.60.
Gosh, you start to see how it adds up, don't you?
You do, and I thought that this was a really good way of actually bringing it down what this is going to mean to everybody. Things that you use every single day, and it goes to toaster, set you back 4 pence.
For a slice of toast.
For your slice of toast. So it starts to be really, really quite personal at this level with the things, you know, a brew. If you're going to make a cup of tea, put your kettle on, 9 pence.
Right.
That's why they advise you don't. If you're only going to make a cup of tea,
Absolutely.
only put a cup of water in the kettle.
Absolutely, and you can understand now, and you start.
How many of us? You boil a whole kettle load, and then you use a tiny bit.
You do,
and
and
let
then
the rest
you boil
cool down again.
I mean, I think that's the real problem, is that this is going to cost everybody. These are things that everybody does. It's not elite things. It's not using a car, which, you know, a lot of people don't have. This is vacuuming. It is washing. It is making your toast, charging your phone.
I just wonder, David, do you know what any of these things are? Washing, vacuuming and making cups of tea? Or is that all Mrs H?
Oh, no, I actually make cups of tea.
Oh, there you
yes,
go.
I can actually do that, yeah. I also do a very good jacket potato.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, you see, that's an expensive thing, a jacket potato.
No microwave. I do it.
Means you've got the oven on.
I do it properly.
Yeah, but you have to have the oven on high for a very long time.
Is that the end of my jacket potatoes?
Yes, I think it is.
Oh,
That's £1 4 pence an hour. So if you're putting a jacket potato in, you're over £1 already.
You're over
the
£1
oven.
already just to do it. Isn't that amazing?
Well, luckily I've got a few blackberries growing in the garden, so I'll be able to eat them.
Yeah.
But that, you see, that's interesting because it makes you think if you're going to have your jacket potato, you need to cook something else in the oven at the same time. You know, maximise efficiency.
Well, you do, and I think is this the start of batch cooking, as we all used to do. Actually, put your oven on, make a batch so you can cool it, freeze it, and you have meals for...
Get it out and microwave it again.
What a way we're going to have to live this
You
winter,
are.
aren't we? We're going to have to live like this, aren't we, through the winter? It's awful, isn't it? That's how we're going to have to live our lives to get by.
Is that a bad thing? We're just adapting to changing times. Is that a bad thing to think about the energy we use?
Do you know, I don't think it is. I think that we've all been very used to leaving of lights on not really thinking about it, charging many devices across a house at all times. And you know what? Yeah, we do have to think about it, and we do have to be a little bit sensible. And I appreciate that this isn't going to be a really comfortable winter for anybody, and some will be worse hit than others. But I think we all need to be mindful of how much energy we actually use and how much we waste.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I'm already planning on heating one room, heating the lounge in winter, and then hot water bottles.
Yes, I think that's
at
sensible.
bedtime. It's
Pop on a sweater, as my mum used to say.
Well,
If you're
yeah.
cold, pair of socks, sweater,
Yeah.
off you go.
Grey hat indoors if necessary.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, David Bowie goes on making...
Yes, I thought we'd have something to cheer us up a little
good.
bit, and it's in the Mirror today, and being a music man, I found this. David Bowie, 2 unreleased tracks have been sold for £5,000 at auction. The songs are called Making Mistakes and Perhaps I'd Rather Be You. Rather unusual title for a song. How you get a song out of Perhaps I'd Rather Be You, I don't know. But David Bowie recorded these back in 1968. I think they were demos, actually. They were never released at the time. So if you happen to have at home any old records, you know, demos or things like that, they could actually be worth quite a lot of money, because
tell you
it was £5,000.
I would have thought they'd have gone for more.
Me too, I was quite surprised.
Yeah,
It's only 5,000.
Yeah, you think it's a bargain, eh?
Yeah, I
You
do.
think when
I do.
Princess Diana's old car has just sold for 650,000?
Mind you, you haven't heard them yet.
Oh, no,
And
true.
don't forget, David Bowie was the man who recorded The Laughing Gnome. Do you remember that, The Laughing Gnome? Ya ha ha he he, I'm just a gnome and you can't find me. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was David Bowie. Sounded like Anthony Newley.
Wow.
I'd forgotten about that.
So this may be like The Laughing Gnome.
Maybe.
Yes, it may-
maybe horrific.
may well.
That's a fair point. It's a fair point. Claire, summer of discontent in The Observer.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, you know, going from David Bowie songs to this again, the unions are now looking like they will have some coordination between their strikes, but it would just be short of a general strike.
Yes, a general strike would actually be illegal now, wouldn't it?
It would.
Because that would mean trades unions coming out on strike even though the dispute's got nothing to do with them at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's not allowed
so
anymore.
that's not allowed anymore. I mean, I was pushed for not having strikes at all, which always puts my husband in a very bad mood and sets us against each other. But I think that we need to understand that we only have as much money as we do in this country, and everybody has the right to a fair wage. But you can't start demanding more. When do you ever stop? And this is always my argument, is that the unions are there to negotiate, and they're normally very good at it. But if they reach an agreement, what's to stop them going out again and saying, well, actually 8% wasn't enough, we wanted 10, we'll now have 11. I mean, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep holding a country to ransom, especially when times are really tough.
But they clearly are talking to each other. It's a TUC Congress meeting, isn't it?
It is,
And they are going to coordinate it so it feels like a general strike. There's always, in other words, every day there's going to be somebody on strike.
That's right, and it's the 2 biggest unions, Unison and Unite, coming together, which will take out the country. And I'm sure that this is what they want. They want to be able to say that we have the power to do this. But
Or is it political more than...
I now largely think it is political. I really, really do. And especially with the new Prime Minister coming in the next week or so, they're going to really ramp up that pressure. And as I say, I've got nothing against negotiating a good deal for workers, but this now needs to stop. We can't keep having the coordination with services being disrupted. We've had it through the summer and we're now going to have it through the winter. Look what's happening in Scotland with bins. We don't need that to be replicated across the UK.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Can we talk about the Royal Rumble in the Sun on Sunday, David?
Yes, there is a Royal Rumble in the jungle. What has happened is that Prince Andrew's daughters, Beatrice and Eugenie, have begged Prince Charles to give their disgraced father a new job. But Charles doesn't want to know. He said, no way, this has fallen on deaf ears. There's something that really amused me a little bit later down. It says about Andrew, it says he missed the birth of Beatrice and husband Ito last September because he was hiding from lawyers trying to serve him a court writ. That's extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, you know, that's just
I
amazing.
don't think there's a great deal of public sympathy out there.
Oh, no.
He's got to
And
do
there
something.
certainly isn't with Charles and William.
William, no.
They are pretty determined.
He's got to do something to get some money, hasn't he? I mean, he has to earn.
Is that what it is? Do you think it's a lack
Well,
of...
I mean, he has to earn some money
His
somehow.
daughters have married awfully well. Can't they keep him in a cottage at the end of the road?
But have they? Do we know that?
I think both have done.
Oh,
that.
We know that, don't we?
Yeah.
One of them is a property millionaire, isn't he? But, but property people are always millionaires, aren't we? We don't
Yes,
actually
just
know
like
that.
that.
Yeah,
Does
just
the
like
one
that.
sell tequila or
Funny, isn't it?
something? Is one of them a
Oh,
tequila
I think
king?
he is, yes.
A tequila king.
Yeah.
Tequila
so
big
it's
boots.
in the spirits
Wow.
industry.
I don't think they've got a problem. Really.
But no, I mean, they can ask all they like. There's absolutely no with the
know.
royal family. I mean, it would poison the brand entirely.
Yeah.
It was. And that's why William and Charles, as the heirs now, have got to make sure that it doesn't happen again. And it would. And there you go.
Yeah, no, it's scary stuff.
Okay, well, we'll move on. Thank you so much
Okay.
indeed.